Welcome to Kwiiz Success, India's trusted platform for IIT JEE and NEET.
Introduction. We know that all the organisms perform some basic functions to keep themselves alive. Do you know what are life processes? Yes, the basic functions performed by living organisms to maintain their life on this earth are called life processes. Since living organisms perform various functions to maintain their life, to perform these functions, energy is required. They get this energy from outside the body in form of food.
Objectives. At the end of this lesson, you'll be able to define life processes, identify types of life processes, understand the nutrition, understand autotrophic nutrition, understand heterotrophic nutrition, find the types of heterotrophic nutrition, understand types of heterotrophic nutrition, understand nutrition in plants, understand process of photosynthesis, find out how do plants obtain carbon dioxide and water, and understand significance of photosynthesis. Types of life processes. There are following basic life processes: movement, respiration, sensitivity, growth, reproduction, excretion, nutrition, transportation. During movement, organism either moves from one place to other or move its body parts while staying fixed at one place. While respiration is the process which releases energy from food absorbed by the body. Sensitivity is the ability to detect the changes in the surroundings. We can define growth as change from child to adult. Organisms produce new organisms similar to it by the process of reproduction. Excretion is the process in which waste materials are removed from the body. The process of nutrition involves the taking of food inside the body and converting it into smaller molecules which can be absorbed by the body. Transportation is the process in which a substance absorbed or made in one part of body are moved to another parts of the body. Nutrition. As we have discussed earlier that all living organisms perform various functions to maintain their life. To perform these functions, energy is required. They get this energy from outside the body in form of food. The process of taking in food and utilizing it is called nutrition. Food is an organic substance. The simplest food is glucose, while complex food is starch. Starch and glucose in combined form are known as carbohydrates. When we require instant energy, then we should take carbohydrates. In addition to carbohydrates, food should also contain fats, protein, mineral salts, vitamins and water because they all are essential for normal growth and development of an organism. Modes of nutrition. Procuring food by an organism is known as mode of nutrition. The general requirement for energy and materials is common to all, but it is fulfilled in different ways. So every organism has different mode of nutrition. Broadly, organisms are divided into two groups according to method of obtaining food: autotrophic, heterotrophic. Autotrophic nutrition. Auto means self and trophic means nutrition. So it literally means self-nutrition. Autotrophic mode of nutrition is that mode of nutrition in which an organism makes its own food from the simple inorganic materials like carbon dioxide and water present in the surroundings. The green plants have an autotrophic mode of nutrition. The autotrophic cyanobacteria also obtain their food by the autotrophic mode of nutrition. So we can say that those organisms which can make their own food from carbon dioxide and water are called autotrophs. The autotrophic organisms contain the green pigment called chlorophyll, which is capable of trapping sunlight, solar energy. The trapped solar energy is utilized by the autotrophs to make food by combining CO2 and water by the process of photosynthesis, and as a result, glucose is formed. Here is the reaction of photosynthesis. Heterotrophic nutrition. Hetero, other, trophic, nutrition. So it literally means nutrition obtained from others. A heterotrophic mode of nutrition is that mode of nutrition in which organism cannot make its own food from the simple inorganic materials like carbon dioxide and water and depends upon other organisms for its food. Most bacteria, fungi, and all the animals have a heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Those organisms which cannot make their own food from inorganic substances like carbon dioxide and water and depend on other organisms for their food are called heterotrophs. A heterotroph is a consumer which gets its nutrition from other organisms. That is, heterotrophs depend on autotrophs and other heterotrophs for their food. Types of heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophs get their food in three ways: saprophytic, parasitic, holozoic. Sapro means rotten and phytic means nutrition. Saprophytic nutrition is that in which an organism obtains food from decaying organic matter of dead plants, dead animals, and rotten bread. That is, fungi and many bacteria are saprophytes. Para, which means besides, cytos means grain food. Parasitic is an organism that grows, feeds, and is sheltered on or in a different organism while contributing nothing to the survival of its host. That is, Plasmodium, cuscutter, tapeworm, etc. Holo, feeding on solids, and zoic, zoon, means animals. Holozoic nutrition is ingesting and using complex organic material as food as most animals do, that is man, dog, cattle, amoeba. Nutrition in plants. As we have already discussed that green plants are autotrophic and synthesize their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis. Photo means light and synthesis means to build. Thus, photosynthesis means building up food with help of light. Photosynthesis is the process used by all green plants, blue-green algae, cyanophyta, and certain bacteria. It is the synthesis of organic compounds, primarily sugars from carbon dioxide and water, using sunlight as the source of energy, and chlorophyll for trapping the light energy. Photosynthesis can be summarized by this equation. The photosynthetic process has been shown to be divided into two major phases. Light stage, light-dependent reactions, represents conversion of radiant energy to chemical energy in the form of ATP. Dark stage, light-independent reactions, represents the enzymatic synthesis of carbohydrate immediates and other compounds by the utilization of the ATP produced during the light stage. The process of photosynthesis takes place in the following three steps: absorption of sunlight energy by chlorophyll, conversion of sunlight energy into chemical energy, splitting of water into hydrogen and oxygen by light energy, reduction of CO2 by hydrogen to form carbohydrate like glucose by utilizing the chemical energy, intake of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is present in the atmosphere. Green plants take CO2 from air with the help of tiny pores present on the surface of leaves. These tiny pores are known as stomata. Carbon dioxide enters the leaves of the plants through the stomata. Each stomatal pore is surrounded by a pair of guard cells. The opening and closing of stomatal pores is controlled by these guard cells. When water flows in the guard cells, they swell, become curved, and cause the pore to open. On the other hand, when guard cells lose water, they shrink, become straight, and close the stomatal pore. As the pore opens, atmospheric carbon dioxide enters the pore. Intake of water. The water required by the plants for photosynthesis is absorbed by the roots of the plants from the soil through the process of osmosis. The water absorbed by the roots of the plants is transported upwards through xylem vessels to the leaves, whereas it reaches the photosynthetic cells and is utilized in photosynthesis. Significance of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is important for a number of reasons. Few of them are main. By photosynthesis, green plants synthesize food from single raw materials like CO2 and H2O. Thus, it sustains life on Earth. Oxygen is released during the process of photosynthesis, is needed by animals and human beings. It is also required for respiration of microbes. Oxygen also supports combustion of fuels. Fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas are forms of stored solar energy synthesized by photosynthesis millions of years ago.
Assessment. Before proceeding further, let us know how much you have learned. Drag and drop the correct option.
Did you know? ATP is energy currency. Leaves are green because they fail to absorb green light of visible spectrum which is reflected. Blue and red light are best for photosynthesis. Light-dependent reactions take place in thylakoids of chloroplasts. The site of carbon dioxide fixation is grana of chloroplasts. Light is emitted in packets of energy known as photons. The splitting of water is known as photolysis. Summary. Let us summarize what we have learned. Living organisms require oxygen, water, and food in every cell of their various tissues to sustain life. The various processes essential for maintenance of life are called life processes. The main life processes are movement, respiration, sensitivity, growth, reproduction, excretion, nutrition, and transportation. Energy is continuously required by living organisms to carry out various life processes. This energy is liberated due to intake as well as utilization of nutrients and also by respiration of an organism. Organisms can be divided into two types on the basis of mode of nutrition: autotrophic and heterotrophic. Autotrophic nutrition involves the intake of simple inorganic materials from the environment and using an external energy source like the sun to synthesize complex, high-energy organic material. Heterotrophic nutrition involves the intake of complex material prepared by other organisms.
Friends, welcome to Kwiiz Success. Now, there's no need to memorize without understanding. Our innovative learning technique helps you grasp concepts easily and effectively. Here, you'll find the perfect combination of 3D animated videos, AI-powered test series, and ebooks enriched with MCQs and mind maps. We offer the foundation course for class 8 to 10 students and the success blueprint course for class 11 and 12 students, providing a real exam experience and a boost in confidence. All our courses are designed by IIT and IIM alumni to ensure top quality learning. Whether it's an engineering entrance, medical entrance, or any competitive exam, success is now in your hands. Thousands of students have already benefited and now it's your turn. Study from home, at your own time, and at your own convenience. Visit www.success.org.in or scan the QR code to download the Kwiiz Success mobile app for free. Take mock tests, practice regularly, and see real improvement in your scores. Please subscribe our YouTube channel, Kwiiz Success. Also share it with your friends. Thank you.